Oh, what's up, guys? It's a little spitting back again, reporting in with my new toque. You see, has glowing lights. It's supposed to be a Halloween black cat. Look, it flashes too. Wow. I may give it away. It's kind of zany. Anyways, I like see these purple slash. The lighter part is violet, and then it's got the orange. The black cat. I don't really like this pom-pom thing at the top, but anyways. So today I just want to put a topic out there for, anyone experiencing stress in life, I recommend going to places that are more open and just like forests that really help you with, oxygenation and, in the Earth's atmosphere, there's not only oxygen, there's nitrogen, there's various gases, right? Carbon dioxide that, of course, the plants need. So it's really good to get in an environment where it's a little more rich, a little more, you know, in actuality, because we're stuck in boxes, a lot of our lives, and I don't think we were ever meant to live inside boxes. Because boxes are, things get, passed around in boxes, and a cube is a sophisticated shape, and some say there's magic involved with, like in the Middle East they have the Kaaba stone and whatnot. I'm just gonna cover this phone because it's sprinkling rain outside, but yeah, the Kaaba stone, and there's stones like the what else? Of course, the pyramids in Giza, which I want to get to. The people who built and designed that probably weren't human, to be honest, because the size of it and the amount of work that had to be done couldn't have been done, as Discovery Channel says, within 5 years or 25 years or however long that they portend and kind of try to explain how it was all the stones were rolled on logs and such, and where were the logs taken from? There weren't that many trees there. And recently I watched on YouTube, there's a video explaining how Puma Pumka at the top of, I think it's Peru, has no trees there because of the elevation levels, and the air just doesn't allow for trees to thrive there. See, here where I am, there are these large, very large pines, and they are magnificent, and they have a lot of sap in them that they actually can benefit you. I had a friend that I met named Kyle who harvested. Oh my goodness! Here, I gotta wipe the lens a little. 1 second. Just gotta make sure it's mostly clear. So, yeah, I'll show you briefly. Right here, I think you can see this little drop of pine. See how sticky that is and how it keeps warm? It's pretty amazing, and it's clear. See, it's clear, and it smells fantastic, or you could say amazing. And once it dries, you can still use it and bag it. It's easier to harvest, I guess, when it's dry, right? And some people smoke it or just use it as like an incense, just to enlighten the scent and aroma in the room or something like that. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. These trees, they've been around for thousands and thousands of years, as the earth was seeded in, prehistory and whatnot. And pines have been one of the largest, right, as they are today with the redwoods and etc. But I want to get into talking about trees as well. See, I'm a herbalist, I'm a skateboarder at heart because when I was younger, I loved to do a lot of skateboarding, and I still love it, the creative aspect of it, and the idea of like always wanting to progress and kind of share your abilities with your friends and experiences with your friends and stuff like that. Um, yeah, with nature and herbs and whatnot, like there's so much variety that I've learned about, and you only can really uh, know about it if you experience it, right? Just like if you've never taken a ride on a roller coaster, you don't know the feeling until you know strap in and take that ride, right? So yeah, there's a lot of good herbs that have benefited me. I'll show you one for example right here. I usually don't use much of it, but I think these are salmon berries. Here. Salmon berries, so they're really hard once they grow to a mature size, but the upper parts are green, and those are kind of the good parts to take. That's what you want to take. You want to take the most of the green parts and the parts that are flexible and nutritious, of course, because they have a lot of vitamin C, vitamin A, all the vitamins that you need. There's even vitamin D, especially during the summer when the sun is more direct and prominent, shining on the earth and whatnot. So that's one I recommend using. And I want to share some more info on like herbs. So pine is also one that's majorly used for teas because, of course, it's a very bitter and very strong. Almost some of them are sour, especially the spruce kind. The spruce are, I think, the strongest variety. But if you use it in teas, infuse it in the right amount. That's what another point I want to stress here is the right amount when you're using herbs is the crucial component in you know helping um, your body adapt and use it um, in the most beneficial way. And so just like the Fibonacci golden spiral, which starts with 1 to 1.6, then 3, 5, 8, 13, etc. You want to look into nature and kind of see what benefits you in the right proportion or the right amount, if you can understand that. And yeah, so some things, even some people in homeopathy use small amounts, very very finite quantities of various herbs, kind of rare ones. Say even ivy, you could extract it in a pure liquid, water, and that infusion, once you steep even 1 or 2 leaves and leave it for a day, etc., a lot of the minerals that you need and the energy of the herb itself, the green itself, is in with the water. So that's an interesting thing I learned in the online herbs course that I took. I'm just trying to stay under this tree because it's spring thing, but yeah, the online herb course that I took was very important in learning the main herbs that can improve your health and also just cure diseases and like boost your athletic performance, right? Which everyone wants, right? So athletic and you could say physical performance. And let's say, right here is safe. So it smells really nice actually with this pine sap here too. Hold on, I'm gonna get a little more of this. Yeah, I'm gonna be harvesting a little of this. Yeah, I want to get on to talking about some of my experiences with herbs. I won't go into detail with all of them, but like I mentioned, there's salmonberry, hawthorn. Um, Actually, it's more of a rare one. So there's pine. There's different things that you can use from trees. I recommend small amounts for if you haven't used them ever before. And I'm not saying this is a cure-all. I'm not saying this is the most safe thing to do, but you use common sense, right? So everyone learns by experience, and use even cedar. I've used some of cedar. It's pretty good with its aspect that it has good oils in it. Has as scientists call them omega-6s, and omega-6s are the main ones that you want for your heart, for the midsection of your body. They're the fastest used by the body. Besides maybe omega-9 or whatever that's used in the brain or something like that. But yeah, what other herbs are really good? I've been trying some of the Devil's Claw. Seems really good at kind of making the nerves stronger, So some herbs have nutritious elements to it where it makes the nerves a little bit more active and stronger. For example, that I learned in Herbs for Health was curcuma longa, aka turmeric, and it's a golden colored herb, and it's actually really good for mostly digestion and your energy of your solar plexus in the abdomen region of your body. And it is really good for also your legs as well, obviously, because roots nutrify your legs. Going into things and herbs, mentioning ginseng, ginger as the main ones that people know of, right? Ginger is more of a feminine, you could say, kind of like a universal type of a root herb, and then ginseng is a little more strong, and I think it's a stronger adaptogen. Some of them can live for hundreds of years. Some of them are more expensive when they're picked after, say, 200 years or so, 100 to 200 years, and that's because it's stronger and more experienced and more wholesome, as things in nature should become wholesome. Which is where I want to transition to talking about the right amount that you want to take from her, because every living thing, I feel, has an energy, and it kind of, you could say, a mood, just like a mind and a heart, just like you do. So it feels, all the trees feel in their own way, even though it's not very similar to, say, us more dynamic humanoid human creatures, right? But so you want to take the right amount, so you don't hurt, per se, in our English language, hurt the organism, right? And that's what a lot of people these days, I think, understand and practice a lot, in using good morals and care and whatnot with people. But I think here, I gotta clear the lens again. You want to keep things clear, But yeah, so I think some of our society today neglects, is a good word, neglects using the right amount and keeping things clean for the organism's eventual, success and expansion, progress, whatever English word that you want to put its own, expansion and growth, right? So, excuse me. It's beautiful here, eh? You see all these tall old pines. A lot of them have ivy growing up it, and then a lot of them have been forested. So some parts have been, taken down, whatnot. But nature is really resilient. That's what I've seen when I've gone into the forest, and I do this just to relax and just have a good you could call it a detox and whatnot. There's more oxygen. Oxygen is what moves uh, various toxic elements, and it even kills viruses and whatnot, which is important to acknowledge in this day, because there's so many viruses that are being pushed. Who knows, like, through, a vaccine could be good, it could be bad. There could be viruses spread in the air, so you always got to be, wearing a mask is logical. um, you gotta make it stylish. And also, one thing I want to mention is wearing masks with aromatherapy oils and whatnot, essential oils, is really amazing. You should probably try a little more of that if you haven't. And just whatever smell and kind of oil really fits your gamut, fits your, what you love, right? Then go with that. So I like lemongrass. I like a bunch of different ones. Mints are good. All mints are pretty good. And yeah, that's crazy. Cannabis is a type of mint, Yeah. And and there's actually 4,000 plus types of mint in the world. So it's pretty amazing when you think of the amount of variety of species that are here to assist us and grow with us, etc. So yeah, I just want to mention also, I'm just trying to get these thoughts kind of off my chest and share them to benefit your life, and kind of clear the air of the herbs that I felt have really helped me. As when I was in high school, I had back problems and whatnot, and I was not in a good space, you could say. I felt like I was kind of alienated from some of my friends at school, because I had moved really far, so it was hard to get together and whatnot, which I still did. I still kept in contact with some of my friends, which was fun on the weekends sometimes, and I think it was like twice every month we get together, but before it was more frequent, right? But so I was going through a hard time, but then I eventually found various herbs, you can get those berry powders and extracts, etc. And that really did help my scoliosis, my spine disease, which has improved a lot, um, just through different various exercises. If one part of your body is weak, you have to exercise it, some at least, to balance the sides, balance, and stay symmetrical, right? That's the whole thing. That's the whole goal of staying strong and athletic, etc. And with that being said, I also want to mention that these trees right here, these pines, are amazing. As you can see, their bark is very gnarly, very hard. A lot of things in nature are very dense and hard, and you can use it for different things. Originally, it was used a lot for fires and boats and stuff like that, and probably like thatching, various roofing and stuff like that. Canoes probably as well. I think cedars were mostly used for canoes, but anyways, there's also a type of tree that can live longer than pines. I think it's about, I read in another book. The problem with me, like being a wizard and stuff, right? I know once I'm done with a book, if I don't really need to practice, the information inside the book, then I want to give it away to pass on the main information, or the theme, the message of the book. You see, so I read one book. It was of all species, mostly dealing with trees in the world and whatnot, and one of them was, it lives to about, I think, 5,000 years, about 5,000, which got me thinking, like, what trees are the most resilient and strong, or even smart, because pines are amazing. they grow to about 500 plus feet, whereas these other ones, I'm trying to remember the name, but I remember they grow in the desert, and for that reason, because it has the heat there and whatnot. Oh, there's fucking fudging mosquitoes here. Yeah, because they grow in the heat, they don't require very much water, and they've adapted to be able to live 5,000 more or less years, right? Which is pretty amazing to me. And yeah, I'm just saying, you have to get out in nature, you have to experience it yourself. Go do, burpees and the things that make you feel the best, right? And don't rush. Say if you want to take up using herbs and something along those lines, don't use it too quickly. It's a long process. Rome wasn't built in a day, right? Just like anything in nature, it's just these trees. This one right here has probably been here for 500 years or something like that. If you look at the ring structure inside, there's probably around 500 rings or something like that. So, no, I'm gonna guess this one is 700 years old. But you never know. Some trees expand and grow faster than others, depending on the climate. How much rain there is. Because with more rain and water, that can allow for more growth sometimes, like the trees on the coast, right? All the redwoods and such, right? So that was a fun time to get into nature, and I highly recommend getting a good exercise with your feet, grounded, your hands, on the ground and whatnot, so you can get muscles like this and like this, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, you gotta get out. And another thing I want to mention is back to the topic of living in boxes, right? Which is nice and cozy in organization, and when you put it in schematics or that kind of thing. But the Egyptians had it right. The pyramid is the penultimate structure of perfection, and the fire of encapsulating the spirit in a perfected form. So there's 4 sides, faces, call it what you will, sides to the top, and what most people don't know is that there's 4 sides on the under part, which balance the top, right? And then that made a octahedron and allowed for the people there to do more magical rituals, right? More powerful, perfected magical rituals, and some say project their soul to another star system, or do things that are more metaphysical, right? Which I believe is possible once you have the right environment, the right state, the right building, like they created, right? And I do believe there have been people, like humanity is in a fallen state right now, and why I'm kind of sharing more of this information is because I want to raise people up, even if it's small increments and small, steps, because a lot of people mostly focus on their ego and their, oh, look at me and my persona and that kind of thing, oh, I have control over this and that, and look, I'm flashy, and but look at nature. Is any crow wearing a fudging Gucci sweater? Is any tree wearing any fur coat? And my point is, like, just live for the pleasure. Don't worry. Don't bring people down. I've fallen guilty for that kind of karma of someone attacking me in some way, and then I feel like I should, push them back or take them down, or kind of feel the same kind of pain that I've experienced, right? And I think we gotta raise above that level and just start doing things that first benefit yourself, and then also to your most wanted companion. It could be a cat, it could be a dog, because they have hearts too. They have souls. They have energy that they're living their life the best way that they know with their intelligence. So you gotta use your intelligence and just try to bring them, raise them up, right, and whatnot. Which is why I like this time of year. The idea of Halloween. There's a very dark, you could say, bad aspect to it, which I don't like to fall into. I like to focus on the more fun, convivial aspects where people get together, light fireworks, eat some candies, share some candies, and play little truth or dare games. That kind of thing is the positive aspects of Halloween is what I feel, right? And just like this kitty, look, oh, she's so cute. I was playing with the black cat the other day, and they're very nice and receptive if you have a good heart approaching them. Then they know that they want to play with you, and so they come and they purr, and you just pat them, on the neck or on their back, and they like that, and kind of pushing the excess fur out their tail and stuff. But anyways, I grew up with a black cat, so I like reminiscing on good connections with cats. Though they aren't the smartest, but even them, they use their wits, they use their smarts to. They find different, they'll go along the ground, they'll smell like grass, and then they'll start chewing on some grass because they know there's some stuff that they may need from the greens and stuff, and freshens their teeth as well, that kind of thing. And they like the catnip, right? Which is another mint, by the way. So, anyways, this is a long video. Oh my goodness. I'm just enjoying this beautiful experience in the forest. I definitely recommend you to enrich yourself with oxygen and cleanse yourself in this day, because we're going through some toxic times. It's all part of the various plans of the New World Order, and various groups. They've always wanted to dominate more through use of fear, but you just gotta realize fear is just something that's below you, and then you just gotta focus on what you want to go